What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 10 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Skarbrand the Exiled Mortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Skarbrand is in the midst of his third rampage, moving through the territories of Thorek's Ironbrow's expedition and absolutely annihilating his armies and most of his territories, leaving only Mahrak, which is admittedly very poorly defended and will fall in short order. Effectively, the faction is destroyed, and we did acquire the old Grump Slayer defeat trait on Skarbrand himself, who's certainly racking up those traits at this point. And the magic item drop chance alone will be very much worth it. Actually, just out of curiosity, we don't have scouting on anybody, do we? On any of our heroes? We don't. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a problem actually finding a decent amount of magical items in this campaign so far. Could be, well, would be rather nice to get a few more. Anyway, you can get renowned, I guess. And do we want brutal charge? Might as well go through esteemed combatant and grab that retinue trainer. And Skyla and Fengrim, I don't know why I clicked you guys. I'm just gonna level you because I did. Again, I don't really care about rampant ruination, so let's go for brutal charge and into kill, like so. Alright, in terms of what we gotta do this particular turn, Tavi still needs to move apparently, because I forgot. Weird, but okay. You move up here with everybody else then. I don't remember why I didn't move you. Anyway, Carmine Eaters, you are going to go find Mr. Skulltaker to potentially, possibly confederate him. You are going to go find Norska, though there is another way that we might be able to find Norska even faster, and that way is the fact that I took a look at diplomacy between the episodes, as I occasionally do, and just take a quick look at what else we have here as options. Yeah, the Confederation is available for Challengers of Khorne. I was kind of on the fence about this, but I think we'll do it, and at the end of the day, if we end up not wanting to use our ball all that much, then we don't necessarily have to, so might as well confederate him, go for it. Plus we get vision of up here, and Boris Ursus is in the fight, and oh, I take it he's wounded Arbol. Oh wow, we have a million heroes here. Bloodright, okay, I don't really care about you. What about you? This completely screws up our capacity. Ooh, this is a nice cultist with the bolstered command, though. What do you have? Intense, don't care for you. And then what about you? Menace, do care for you. So we keep these two. Grawl is disdainful, which is kind of terrible. Stormbrack Mount, oh, actually has relatively nice defenses, and Arbol is up or wounded for another 2 turns. He gets Hellblade for all basically Chaos Warrior type units. And oh, he's level 17. Not too bad. We'll most likely have to reset him though. I wonder if he's brought any other heroes along with us. More importantly, Boris is doing surprisingly well. 7 settlements. And he was absolutely kicking Arbal's teeth in, so that's pretty impressive. Oh, we got more heroes over here. Man, this guy built all the heroes. Brawler, I don't like, and Slaughterer is okay, but alright, well, you are gonna have to go. You need way more of those guys down there. Look at that, a skull pile. 453 skulls, yeah, we can send you down there. First skull pile I've seen, I believe. You stick around for now, but I might delete you later. Oh, you know what we could do? I was gonna send these guys to find... I was gonna send this scout to find Norska, but there isn't any real need anymore since we have a few extra heroes we can use for that purpose here. So disband you, scouts, sorry. And we'll keep you two, and then you can stay in Stormbrack Mount and hold for Arbol. I guess we'll want to recruit some stuff for him. Oh, by gaining the additional buildings, we unlocked additional Gorby's chariots, but I think we already built the regular chariots, so we'll just upgrade them the regular way. It's not like it takes very long to go to rank 5, so may as well. Anyway, Arbol. What kind of stuff do we want for you? I mean, it depends on what kind of stuff we do for the other guys. Let's start with a couple of, or maybe even 3 basic Chaos, 2 basic Chaos Warriors of Khorne. I don't want to waste too much money, because if we go to like minus 10k, it's going to be very difficult to stay ahead of it. Yeah, let's go 3. We can always, not disband them, but rather, whatchamacallit. Side grade them to other weapons. Huh? Wait, did I just go to 4? Alright, fine, then build... Oh. Well, then you can do 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Let's do some different types, I guess. Oh, actually, no, you know what? We'll probably need more of the halberdier variants for the pike and shot, so let's do this instead. And then we'll see. And again, we can always side grade as needed. You have the Jugger plant here, which is good. We don't have additional capacity because you screwed our capacities over, unfortunately, because I really wanted this Battlemaster for Skarbrand's army in particular. In theory, there should be a Battlemaster hero in every single army. Also, Blood Reaper, since we deleted the Scout, we should have another Blood Reaper available, and there's a Battlemaster variant of them. Huh, this could be good in demonic armies. Assuming we don't get a cultist of that type in that particular army, which we probably will want to. But there's no guarantee that we'd have that type. You know what, let's get you maybe on field, and if later we want to delete you, then we could just delete you. Alright. Reasonably happy with that. Then we do have a little bit of money, so we should probably invest in some of it. And ooh, right, we got the -8 control, which ain't so great, but it is what it is. Let us do trophy racks here. And build a cultist enclave. It'll generate more money. Frankly, the port is not a bad idea either. I'm just always wary that this place will get attacked. You know, let's hold off. It's fairly expensive. Also, we'll need to take out growth and switch it to public order, I guess. Frankly, pretty much everywhere except this place, because this is where we're getting recruits up and running. Though admittedly, wait a moment. Wait. You could build a couple more of these guys for more of the halberds. It would take another 5 turns. 6 turns there. Might be better to just build an extra one out of the global recruitment, although it is pretty darn expensive. It's 3 times the cost. I'll think about it. I might cancel these guys later on, depending. We shall see. I also don't want to wait a million billion turns while this guy recruits, but again, we'll see. Alright, good enough for now. What else do we have here? We'll ignore this for now. We'll ignore this. Coast of Araby. Okay, so Kofor Harbor generates a decent chunk of change, though the problem is that it is quite expensive to build. Either way, we will want the trophy rack, and the trophy rack is built here, so you can start off on the Exalted Hero building, but it will require tier 3. And cultists also. Tier 3. I guess we'll do the Chaos Warrior capacity as the first thing. This is another salt mine, so we'll build that. I'd love to upgrade All Hike, but I fear we don't have the money for it, or won't over the next couple of turns. What does this do again? Nothing critical. This is all fine, at least for now, at least until we have more money to invest in it. You have the public order building, but you don't have the trophy racks. Let's get that trophy racks. These are tier 1 upgrades, so I think they can be built. Yeah, just do it. And like so, and again, we just gotta be careful about bankrupting ourselves, and then you cost 2.5, you cost cheaper. Yes. Alright, more cultist capacity. Eventually. Alright, that looks good to me. We got the trophy racks here, and here we can build another one of, I don't know. I guess the question is, what takes more priority? The Jugger plant, which gives us research and exalted heroes, versus the cultists. Cultists are better than exalted heroes, and pretty much useful in every single army because it's a war shrine, but without the additional research, might make it less worth our time. Oh, but this iron makes it cheap to recruit from this particular territory, so I think we'll at least build one arsenal. Maybe we'll build a Jugger plant rather here, if that makes sense. The rest of this looks good. This is a trophy rack. We got more trophy racks on the way here. Let's go. Trophy racks, trophy racks. Keep us in the money. And upgrade you. And that looks like that's it. Wait, why did I skip the Land of the Dead? Apparently I did. Springs of Eternal Life. I don't remember why I went Dimensional Cascade here. Or Dimensional Tear. And does it matter? I guess I want another Blood Reaper capacity. It's probably the case. Yeah, fine, why not, whatever. Alright, good enough. Good enough for now. We have 18k remaining, and I think we don't want to spend any more money, so we'll skip, and then we will end the turn. Am I forget anything? Well, if I am, it's too late now. Oh, did I move the... Huh. I moved these guys, right? The little army that was sailing to find Skulltaker. Clan Moors, you really like us for attacking the lizards and the dwarfs, but you're fairly strong and you're right beside us, and we haven't fought a lot of rats. And I just feel like, since he's fairly strong and we've destroyed all his natural enemies, thereby strengthening him, we should probably claim his skull on the way northward. I see Malagor's also wandering this way. And no further attacks. Alrighty, so Skarby, I would like you to move, I don't know, as far as you can, I guess. You can even march stance to do it. You go right here towards Mahrak. Now, what if there's an army here? 6 military presence. There's an army somewhere here. And I just don't know where. Are you able to raid this turn? No, just go beside Skarby. You can... Oh, actually, move down here. We can use you as bait, perhaps. If an army wants to attack you and kill you, that would actually work for me. Next up, you, Rager, are going to move here and you're going to raid Teotiqua. Like so. And, okay, I see Cloaca, but I don't see Mr. The Last Defender. Interesting. Alright, Mount Arachnos, I believe we were going to claim you. So, Tavi, you are going to claim Mount Arachnos, and the other two will move past it. Encircle. And move, and move. I believe you guys should be able to do this. Yes. Good. Dawnstone will hopefully turn that into something more useful. This one we will occupy rather than waiting for it to self-colonize. And Dawnstone, do we have something we can turn that into? Plus Dragonbane Gem, fantabulous. Into a Bloody Shackle. A big ol' regen, 1 use, an additional healing cap, but admittedly at the cost of a bunch of, resistances that we would otherwise have. So I'm not 100% sure it's worth it. It might be worth it on somebody like a... like an exalted hero rather than on a lord. Somebody who's a smaller target as well. Who might otherwise not have a general sort of a... Huh? Banner on Holy Victory, base weapon damage, winning melee combat. Right, I forgot about that. Somebody had really high base weapon damage. I don't remember who it is. Oh, but it's only equipable by lords? Oh, that's disappointing. Oh well, what can you do? I was hoping that heroes could equip it as well. You're fairly damaged now, but I think you can still move 1 more turn while channeling, so you can max yourself out. And then you, I would like to actually march stance, go as far and fast as you can. You will then have to heal while you move. Alrighty. That looks pretty good to me. Next up, did we identify any Norscan factions nearby? There's Wulfric the Wanderer. Oh, no contact. I wonder how strong he is. I just want access to his units. And the vision, potentially, that he'll provide. Bloodthirster, Pizzle-Gnaw? Really? Okay. That's an interesting choice. I don't know which army you're going to go in because we may swap you to a different guy. So we'll just go this way. Oh, you know what? Stop. We'll put you into this army temporarily. Well, no, actually, this guy should be in your army temporarily. Because we're delivering him now. So let's say you go here, and we'll sort of keep you around until I figure you out. Slaughterer and Tencent, I don't know what the other one was, but it probably wasn't what I was thinking of. Alrighty, now. 2 of you will be acting as scouts and then disappear. That's 1 you. Oh wait, no, not you. You, Bloodright. I don't really care for this. Granted, hero killing blow is nice, but there are better traits. Go out this way. Go scout out for us. And then you, with intents, are going to do the same thing. I'd like you all to find the Norscans. In fact, maybe we'll send this one around this way to go see what's going on up here. Might as well. If they're going to be deleted and they're acting as scouts, may as well do something with them. Like so. Ah, I see Archaon is advancing. I would like to at least have 1 province. Ooh, this is the first Tusks I've seen. Ah, all it does is generate a few skulls. Not all that much. And the Slaughterer I may or may not keep. I feel like I like Bleed more, but may not necessarily be the case. Anyway, who is you? Oh, who is you? You two, go in here for now. Like so. Torvig, you are going to keep an eye on what's going on in the center of this. I do wonder if Boris is going to attack us or whether... Oh, I should have grabbed the frickin' skull file. I forgot about it. I forgot those existed. And the Carmine Eaters, you have to survive just a little bit longer, just long enough to try to reach the... Skulltaker and see what's going on out there. Ah, the Awakened are doing reasonably well. Probably going to be upsetty about the whole trespassing thing, but it is what it is. Anyway, we need to move. Our money is dropping very rapidly because we went fairly negative. And, oh, huh. How much is Mahrak worth of sack value? Maybe we sack it before raising it. I think we might need to skip, and end the turn. On the bright side, one more turn unless I'm mistaken, and we will be able to get the upkeep production on all infantry by 8 or 10%, something like that. A fair bit, basically. And that's obviously a good thing. Alright, so this is not Kroq-Gar. Where is Kroq-Gar? Where's what you want? Military access. No, go do what you want. You've been deadlocked with fighting Zlatlan for like 8 million years. Go deal with Zlatlan. Come back to us when you're ready. Alright, let's see what we're looking at. Province secured. West Southlands, World's Edge Mountains. Oh, it completed itself. Slanashi giggle. Good for it. Alright, let's upgrade you immediately just because it's critical that we get the gold mine. Let's also put you into bonus control. I would like to... And I guess we'll repair the dimensional tear here. And then upgrade you. Oh, this will probably switch to Immortal building though, but anyway, we'll do it later. Line of the Dervishes, Arbal the Undefeated is ready, though ready for how long remains to be seen. Charge bonus and Killer's Trophy is next, which is the upkeep production. Good. Nemesis Crown claimed by Sylvania, drawn to destruction. Oh wow, everything's getting drawn to destruction lately. Go figure. Alright, well, that's looking good, and you have the commandment, and you have no commandment. Let's get you into control while we have the Confederation debuff. Funny, I was gonna actually pop off the colonization chance, but it looks like we didn't need it this turn. I could do the bonus control for every concurrent war with neighboring faction. Yeah, maybe we'll pop this off instead. I clicked the right thing, right? Just to counteract the control as much as physically possible here. Either way, what do we have here? You would, in theory, be able to reach this guy. I would like to knock out Mahrak. I do wonder how much auto-resolve damage it will take for it, though. Sack value, honestly not that much. What's the sack value here? Basically nothing, huh? That one will probably just raise. Mahrak is not a capital, and neither is Resetra. Alright, go to Mahrak. Do we risk auto-resolving it and taking possibly severe damage, or do we just quick fight it in order to be able to do this? Resetra has barely any defenses. Probably auto-resolve that. You would not be able to reach Mahrak, so we'd have to probably raise it rather than sack it. We could grab another blood host here and then send him around this way to Libara. Oh, wait, have you captured Libaras? No, these guys own Libaras. And the rats own Lamia by the looks of it. Interesting. Alright, you know what? I think we're just gonna quickly fight this. Ooh, Trollhammer Grudge Settlers. Actually, that one unit alone is fairly threatening. But let's do this quickly.
We spill their blood. We seize their skulls.
Alrighty, here we go. Looks like there's no dodging all those homing missiles, but the closer you get, the less accurate they become. So, we move on in, and then we immediately activate the Rage Embodied, or Rage Incarnate, rather, as we have to knock out those Grudge Settler gyrocopters. They are far too nasty. Fortunately, absolutely massive alpha damage from all of our heroes, with Skarby hitting for 1.6k, well not 1.4k, and Skyla hitting for 1.6k. Bonking apart those gyrocopters and demolishing the major threat here. And there we go, now it's a matter of waiting for the rest of our units to make their way forward. Obviously without Vanguard deployment, as usual, they're going to be a little bit slower to the fray. But not to worry, Skarbrand's having his fun. And the Hellforged Host and the Exalted Bloodletters arrive, some of them being punted around by Skarbrand, but I'm willing to bet they're probably used to it at this point. Now, unfortunately for us, the enemy artillery piece, a Grudge Thrower, is chucking those rocks at us, and this is not so great. Oh, it's not even the Grudge Thrower, it's the tower. Fortunately, oh, actually, it's both of them. Fortunately, the explosive tower is being worked upon by Khorne's Bloody Fist, and we've got more Exalted Bloodletters moving in to take the place of those that get damaged too heavily by all the stones hitting them. Alrighty, there we go. We've gotten around them with one unit. That means we can back up the damaged ones and allow this unit of Exalted Bloodletters to finish off the Chaos or the regular Dwarf Warriors. Certainly would be no problem whatsoever for the Exalted Bloodletters if it wasn't for all the artillery. Anyway, Skarbrand in the meantime has moved away from the main line, leaving Skyla to lead the pile of main units, while he, as in Skarbrand, heads towards the enemy Lord, Thane, and artillery piece. Can't have those guys firing for too much longer. And there we go, just had to dodge those Longbeards in a slightly weird move, but it was a, a cued movement, so that was why it looked like that. Anyway, Skarbrand is on the way, while the Longbeards are now trying to block off the Exalted Bloodletters with the Cultistan War Shrine, but they're being cut down without too much trouble. What are our stats at here? Without buffs, B positives are hitting for 91 melee attack, pretty good, with 92 weapon strength. Pretty darn immense for a unit of 100 units. Of course, once again, they are fragile, but, well, does their fragility matter that much if they kill you faster than you can do anything about it? Anyway, the enemy lord, I believe, has been killed off at this point, and now Skarby turns to kill the Thane, while the Fleshhounds arrive to smash into the rear lines and destroy that Grudge Thrower, making sure that it cannot fire again. Otherwise, advance power has shifted to about 95% in our favor. Our units are well within the settlement now, and it's just a matter of time until they break through this last defending line of Longbeards and engage the last of the units. Frankly, the enemy army probably should just be running at this point. But it looks like the Longbeards want to fight for at least a little bit longer. Something to grumble about if they weren't, dead. Yeah, tactically not much else to say, just waiting until the last of the Longbeards are out. There we go, these guys are done, and with them the rest of the army shatters, and the battle is ours, no problem at all, and we bid farewell effectively to the Ironbrow's expedition. Alright, there we go. Quick little fight. Some losses primarily due to fire from the Grudge Throwers in combination with fire from the enemy explosive tower, at least until Khorne's Bloody Fist took it down. Still, great work from Skarby, pretty much as always. And for the Bloodletters, it's... Ooh, 15k, probably the Skull Cleavers. Or is it the Red Hot Pokers with a 22k? Very solid. Alrighty, and for the dogs, actually they didn't do all that much in this particular battle. It is a siege after all. I'd love to sack the place, I really, truly would. But if we do, then Malagor might occupy it, and I just don't like that. If we do skulls, we get a little bit of cash and a little bit of skulls, so I guess that's what we're going to have to do. Game. I really want to sack stuff. What can you do? You gotta do it this way. Another Lichbone Pennant. Nice pickup, and there we go. With that, Ironbrow's expedition is destroyed. We do regain our movement range as well, so we should be able to hit Resetra. Play it and screw up the movement. And go. Good. And this one we'll auto-resolve just because I'm too lazy. It's probably going to do too much damage, but I don't want to do that again, so actually not so bad. This one we will... I believe you're in range of it, so we could occupy it, or we could skulls it again. Frankly, the sack value isn't all that much, so maybe I'd rather have the skulls, or maybe even pop off another blood host. Like so. Alrighty, what do we have here? The Scarlet Legion. Nothing too crazy there, but better than nothing. Then Skarby, you're going to go after Nyeren Bato, who is going to run away like a coward. And military presence, none. So where is... Okay, you. I want to see what's going on at Libaras. We have... nothing there. Well, we do have spices there, which is fine, but now we were looking for... Anyway, I'm gonna send both of you to Libaras to hopefully claim it, whereas Skarbrand can move southward. He is here to collect the Saurus Smiter defeat trait, and he's not leaving until he gets it. I really hope that he's not dead. Kroq-Gar, I mean. Military presence, maybe he's here at the Temple of Skulls or somewhere. I guess we'll see. You cannot reach Teotiqua, meaning you're gonna move down this way and get ready to attack it next turn. Move northward through lizard territories and then start traveling southward through those of the Order of Lore Masters afterwards. Otherwise, you are moving to now swap these units with various armies, so keep traveling this way, sir. You are going sort of this way as well. Ooh, you know what? You're kind of a low level. I'm gonna say keep you here just so that you don't get assassinated by this jerkface. And you can keep recruiting. Arbol, as we saw, is back. You are done recruiting, so I guess we'll summon Arbol to replace you. Place Lord with Arbol, the undefeated. Wait a second, no, if we have to reset him, then it's better not to do that. Alright, so summon you like this. Let's see what you got. You got 3 points in Blood Feast, which isn't horrific, but Skull Takers is completely worthless on you, and yeah, I think we're going to reset you. I would like to see what you do other than provide bonuses to various mortal units. Discouraged effect for you in particular. Fleshhound of Khorne Mount, sure I'll give you some Fleshhounds as well. I was looking to do a few more, even if they are demonic units. Cooldown, Eye of Khorne ability, we'll take a look more at this stuff later. I just want to see if there's any unit buffs that we have to be aware of. So Flanker for Devastating Flanker for Chaos Knights and Skull Crushers. Upkeep reduction for Chaos Warriors Chosen, Chaos Knights and Skull Crushers. Huh. Expert charge defense for non-demonic infantry. Skull Crushers, Hellblade, yada yada yada. Unbreakable Host, unbreakable for non-demonic units. Alright, all that makes sense to me. Oh, huh. Non-demonic units of this, we'd give unbreakable Minotaurs. That's kinda neat. If we wanted to put a few of them into this army just for fun. A distinct possibility. Either way, it doesn't change the fact that we have to reset you. Ah, you already have the one quest and you already have it? That's a bit of a shame, but what can you do? What do you have here? Arena Fighter. Huh. Skulls gained from kills. Seduce units. Norscan Mutant, or Marauder rather, income from post-battle loot, and construction cost reduction. Oh wow, I didn't know that was a thing. Captured and... Really? I think we've captured and occupied a settlement game. Why have we not gotten a single Slaughterman? If you think if anybody would get a Slaughterman, it'd be us. Ooh, Engineer's Knapsack, that's actually a nice find because we can, you know, put it to use. Anyway, in our Pike and Shot army, reset all skill points, please, sir. He'll be back. In the meantime, you, I guess, keep recruiting Chaos Warriors of Khorne. And we got additional capacity as well, so let's do... We should probably do a couple of Halberds. Again, we could always side grade them as needed and even evolve them to Knights as needed. You know, do dual weapons. I don't know what I'm going to evolve into it. Oh, wait, no, we can't do this. We have no money for it. Right. A little bit ahead of myself. You go this way. And where's the other guy? You go this way. So, Wolfric the Wanderer. Well, the vassalage is not going to happen, but the defensive alliance probably will. You're fighting Lorelorn. If we join the war against Lorelorn... And not, okay, that doesn't really help. We need defensive alliance. Join the war against the Order of Master of Innovation, rather. Still no defensive alliance. How much money? 9,000. We don't have it yet. All right, I'm gonna wait on this a little bit. It's not so much that I care about the alliance as I care about the access to all of the Norscan units. There's some good stuff in there. And Kuchar the Blood Hunter, our most favorite community canon lord, does have a need for skin wolves, as that's one of his things. Anyway, I guess we're moving on, right? Before we fight, let's see if anybody else I've forgotten. You are fine where you are. Torvig, you are gonna grab this skull pile. There we go. Free little pile of skulls. And then you guys are gonna go this way. Stormwrack Mount can probably defend itself pretty well. Boris is moving to meet Archaon in battle, so by the time that Mr. Arbol is back, we'll hopefully have enough of an army to move towards Tribe Slaughter and the Pillar of Skulls. We don't want to lose it to these guys, though. They have iron. Oh, that's interesting. No dice on the defensive alliance either, right? How many territories do you have? Only 5, so we're not competing for a lot of territory, but I hate to sacrifice any iron, admittedly. If they take the Temple of Heimkel, that would be not great. I will think about it. In decent likelihood, we just end up fighting almost everybody, but there was Chaos Dwarf stuff that we wanted, so we gotta pay attention to it. Carmine Eaters. You're going to find Skulltaker. All the while trying not to get killed. Okay, no, just land here, whatever. You're gonna suffer attrition anyway, it's inescapable. Like so. Probably find some lizards and stuff here, which will inevitably declare war on us randomly, but it is what it is. Eddie, you desperately need to go back into healing now, so go into encamp stance. At a loss of some of your Winds of Magic power reserves, but you shouldn't... Yeah, you shouldn't raid in our own territory right now, because we're already sufficiently damaged. Tavi, up here, and you... move beside this army. Alright, everybody's getting ready to meet up with each other and with Skarbrand. Skyla Anfengrim's army is basically ready. We just need... Actually, you know what? Maybe we'll have Gulgas command it. I was gonna do one of the Bloodspeaker Lords to command it, but I'm thinking now that a Chaos Lord will provide more melee defense to the chariots, which might actually need it more. Might have to get rid of one of the Khorne Gors, though. We'll probably want a couple of exalted heroes on... chariots. On Gorby's chariots. Yeah. Alrighty. We'll deal with that later. Is Skarby the last one who needs to move still? Who's Grawl again? Grawl Carnalitus. You're fine. Why do I feel like the Khorne name generator has a lot of very Slaneshi adjacent names? Am I crazy? Anybody else getting that? You need to channel? No, you're fine. Alright, everybody else is fine, meaning you can attack Nyeren. Do we want to level? That's Skarbrand, he doesn't need to level. Do we need to force these guys into Rampage? Also, probably not really. Just go in regular stance. Alright, and it may be a little pile of skinks, but I never underestimate skinks, as I love to spam them myself, so we'll fight them. Besides, until we get to Lustria, these are the only lizards around here. Well, okay, there's Latland, but they're locked in an eternal war against the Bloody Hands. Anyway, go. Wait. No, don't wait, go.
This is what we live for. This is Khorne. Come on.
Alrighty, the lizardmen, whose great plan calls for the destruction of chaos, but, well, we wish them luck, let's, you gotta give them a sporting chance, though in this particular case, I don't think they have a prayer. Anyway, what they do have is a nearly complete counter to Rage Incarnate. Notice that it is upon them, but these guys aren't rampaging, and these Skink Chiefs aren't rampaging, and the red-crested Skink Chief was able to immediately run past us. Now, the enemy doesn't have a slam, so they don't have access to Ancient Mind, so this must be one of their other abilities. On the bright side, moving past Skarbrand to engage Skyla and Khorne's Bloody Fist didn't really end much better for the red-crested Skink Chief anyway. But all good, I suppose. Alrighty, and this is starting to look very much like a Skulltaker campaign, killing droves of lizards with piles of bloodletters, at least for now. And sending up plenty of lizards flying as well while we do, and of course Skarbrand is hunting the enemy heroes, trying to get at those Skink Chiefs, but they back off since we can't force them into Rampage. But once again, I suppose that if anybody's going to counter the sort of Rampage effects that we cause, it may as well be the lizards. And they may counter the Rampage, but they can't counter, you know, being hacked into bits. And with the bounce bar at about 90%, very many of these skinks have fallen, and it looks like it's only a matter of time. We quickly open a little Chaos Gate to summon forth a bloodthirster, or was it the... No, I think it was a pile of bloodletters. And just so that the enemies couldn't escape. And there's the bloodthirster. Not that, by the looks of it, we need it by any means here. The main enemy army has pretty much collapsed at this point, and 5% bounce of power is just these poor little units of skinks. There was a little bit of a fight out here as the Fleshhounds surrounded and obliterated a unit of poor feral cold ones. And now it's just a matter of about 3 more seconds until the last of the skinks shatter and the battle is ours. Very, very nice. Alright, there we go. Lizard Skulls claimed once again, and I actually think that we heal here because it'll allow us to continue auto-resolving. As the next settlement is probably not worth our actual fighting time at. At least I doubt it. Anyway, in terms of the bloodletters with 31k, the blood donors forcibly made everybody else donate their blood, and quite effectively at that. Unfortunately, the Khorne's Mighty Fist took a little bit of damage as all of the ranged units, the skirmishers and the chameleon skinks, were just non-stop trying to focus him down, but we're admittedly kind of used to it. Anyway, we'll devour the captives. Like so. And then we killed in battle, and we killed in battle, and we killed in battle. Good. Before we continue, 2 things. First of all, engagement threshold. Don't forget that if we reach, maintain the streak of 300 likes and 50, I want to say, comments per episode. No, wait, yeah, 300 likes, 50 comments, something like that. Per episode, we'll do another double episode sometime on the weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, depending on which I have time for. Oh no. There is a rogue army here. That's not good. I'm glad I looked over here, though, but anyway. And the other thing is, I do believe we had a couple of things that we needed, absolutely needed to name. Namely, you two, the massively high-ranked Skull Reapers that summoned Scar Bloodwrath after racking up 1,000 kills each at the Black Pyramid of Nagash. So you will be anointed harvesters, and you will be Skarbrand's headhunters. There we go. And somebody suggested that Rager should be Major Rager. Makes sense. Alrighty, lovely. You guys stay there. Then, Skarbrand, you have recovered some of your movement range, and I guess we're going to use that to punch you all the way down to the Temple of Skulls, meaning we'll go around like this. We'll hit Doomglade. And this one I think we'll sack. We need the money. I'd love to raise it, but we'll sack it. We'll have somebody else raise it next turn. Free Wormslayer Sword. Melee defense -20. I still don't like Wormslayer Sword, and I still most likely, or at least decently, like going to use. Hello! If it isn't Mr. Kroq-Gar. Though I do wonder if he'll run far enough away. Oh, I gotta get that Saurus Smiter. And Saurus Skull. Don't run, coward. And I fear he's too far, or is he? No, he's not. 4% remaining. Fantastic. This is what we wanted. You ran, despite this being a close victory and medium casualties? Again, the cowardice. The absolute cowardice, Kroq-Gar. He hasn't completed any of his quest battles. Wait, yeah, oh, and he doesn't have Grimlock. Okay, yeah, without Grimlock, I can see why he'd run. Poor Kroq-Gar on a horned one is not going to have too much of a chance against Skarbrand, as we're about to see. Go.
This is what we live for. This is Khorne. Come on.
Alrighty, here we go. We have found Kroq-Gar. I am so frickin' glad that he was up here rather than to the south, where our other army is currently fighting. And admittedly, he does look nice on that horned one because the Hand of the Gods kind of matches the armor on on the horned one's face. Anyway, as we've already seen, the enemy is effectively able to completely ignore a Rage Incarnate. The real question, though, is can they ignore Skarbrand? Looks like similar to the other Lord, Kroq-Gar runs past Skarby. Oh, Skarby sends a few skinks flying, however, and closes the distance with Kroq instead, who loses about, let's say, 20% of his HP on the first hit. He's got 72 melee attack, but his melee defense is rather low, which ain't gonna be so great for him. If effectively every one of Skarbrand's blows lands, he is going to be hitting very, very hard. And one more hit, unless I'm mistaken. And there we go. With that, Kroq-Gar lies defeated on the battlefield. In the meantime, the main army, has closed the distance. The biggest enemy blob of lizards actually taking a fairly nice position as they were able to come up on this hill and then hold the ground before we were able to reach it ourselves. But oh well, they get a little bit of elevation advantage, but we should still have a fairly big advantage in terms of troop quality. Our Blood Reaper has moved to help the big blob of units, as this is most likely where we will take the most damage, and Skarbrand himself moves in to help. In the meantime, that's on the right flank. The left flank is where the other elements of the battle are, and admittedly our Blood Shrine, or War Shrine of Khorne, is here. And this is also where the enemy was numerous, but also where they've been cut down, especially with the Fleshhounds smashing into their rear ranks. And it looks like the battle is very nearly ours as the bounce power shifts to 90% in our favor. A little bit of damage on our Blood Reaper, admittedly, but it was being focused down by enemy chameleon skinks and whatnot, as they have a tendency to do. And there we go with that. Kroq-Gar's army shatters after attempting to have run away, and the battle is ours. Damage is, well, relatively minimal. We did take some hits on the skull letters, but by the looks of it, they also did pretty darn well for themselves. Alright, there we go. Another nice fight, though the lizards counteracting our rampage causing is quite the annoyance, as Skarbrand effectively can't use his most powerful ability against them. And that's without Ancient Mind. I guess it's just from the ability that all heroes and I think all lords have to stop rampages. Good for them, though. And it does make sense that the lizards are especially resistant to chaos and its machinations. But anyway, what do we have here? Our Reap Captives, 1,100 skulls versus a little bit of money versus a little bit of healing. I think we won't be able to reach the next location anyway. Frankly, we need the money a little bit more than the skulls right now. I think we offer as tribute. Like so. And this is why we were down here in the first place. We get Saurus Smiter. Plus 10 melee defense for Skarby, moving him from 58 to 68. A pretty darn big difference. Serpent Coast. Where is the actual settlement? Is it here? Because if it's here, then we should move here. But if it isn't here, then we should just go back. We could just go for the Temple of Skulls. Though you're not admittedly all that close. Man, I really don't want to go down here if this is not in fact where it is, but nobody else can find it right now. Alright, well, hopefully I'm not wasting Skarbrand's time. Go all the way out here. Okay, it is out here, good. We'll go here, raise it or sack it, whichever, depending. And then move to the Temple of Skulls as well, which we will obviously occupy, but also have to do that before Malagor gets there, and also the same kind of situation with a Doomglade with one of you guys. Alright, just keeping ahead. One step ahead of the goat bird. Anyway. That was the end of the turn, right? We have a little bit of money. Not a lot, but probably enough to build a trophy rack should we desire it. Let's see. Or upgrade a trophy rack. 2.5k. We got a couple more trophy rack here to upgrade. 2.5k, 2.5k. We'll prioritize us. Ooh, the level 4. You know what? We gotta go with the level 4. There's stuff that it'll unlock. Chaos Knights, Minotaurs, Wrathmongers, Chosen, and whatever else we want to... Well, actually, just those things. But anyway. It's critical that we do that. And actually, we gotta pay attention to Galbaraz, which will be our next tier 4 as soon as we're, you know, able to get there. Alright, looks good to me for now. Anywhere else with these guys? More trophy racks, please. Once we have sufficient trophy racks everywhere, you can go into Shimmering Anger, please. Or is it Simmering Anger? Whatever. Shimmering Anger. Anyway, yeah, let's upgrade you and you. And I believe that's all we can afford right now. At the very least, I don't want to risk any more. Do we have a mission? Yes, we do. Oh, I'm willing to bet that we actually had a mission to kill off Mr. Kroq-Gar, but whatever. All good. Shame, but all good. I might have to send these guys to deal with Hod before sending them elsewhere, just because, yeah. No choice in the matter either, I think. Anyway, skip, and end the turn. Did I forget anything? I don't know, but it's too late now. I guess there were all those heroes, but I don't remember if I moved them this turn or not. Earlier I was gonna say that the main issue with all of our other armies is actually just trying to catch up with Skarbrand with all of his slaughtering, but it's not just Skarbrand, it's just the entire campaign. Skarbrand moves so fast that I'm just trying to keep up with what we're doing everywhere else. Ew, and want a military access? No, Beastmen, only vassalage, nothing else. Besides, you actually have a very nice defeat trait, so Skarbrand could really use it. It's a missile resistance and a fair bit of it, so yeah. Ooh, Masters of Innovation destroyed. I was going to declare war on them. Ooh, free Perfect Vigor and Unbreakable. Free Trophy of Killers, there we go. Huh. That only put it down by about 1,000 gold. It was a lot less than I was expecting. But oh well, we got another one on the way. Exist always in 15 turns and straight up 8 upkeep reduction. Malagor. He's a-coming. He won't reach Doomglade before we do, though. He might reach Libaras, maybe. Can you take Doomglade with what you have? You probably can. You raid Libaras and get ready to attack it. But also make sure that you're there before Malagor is. Ah! This guy's here. Good for him. You, Skarby, go here. Go here. And then, I guess, auto-resolve Serpent Coast? Ooh, that's actually got some decent defenders. Huh, what's the sack value of the place? 7k. Not anything crazy, but we need the money, and we could always send Major Rager back up this way. Though I don't know whether we'd actually be able to get there fast now, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, I think we'll auto-resolve it, because we won't be able to reach the next place, so we'll have to raid anyway. So auto-resolve. Barely any damage, actually. And then sack. And a Eternal Flame, nice find. Income from raiding Firestarter for Major Rager, also nice find. Yeah, you can't reach the Temple of Skulls, what you can do is go into raiding near it. Raid it, raise it, etc. And that'll probably be a proper fight, because it's a capital and it's got a stack in it. Alrighty, what about Major Rager? Teotiqua is a capital, meaning we will want to tier 3, meaning we'll probably want to sack it and then occupy it. Which, you know, fair enough. Like so, and I did not realize how bare the defenses were. Auto-resolve. Oh, wow. Not surprising, though. Sack. And Blood Collector, income from sacking summits. You already have one? You do not, but we should get you one. You have a Firestarter. I like the Great Icon of Despair on you. Lose the Coronate Familiar. Ancillaries, we will go for Blood Collector. Skarby has one, Eddie has one, and now you have one. Good. Then we will use some of the skulls to occupy Teotiqua, as it is once again a capital, and we will go for Blood Tributes or whatever it is. Stay and repair this for now. Gorby's Chariots for Akarak Hellscream, and Gorby's Chariots for Fator. That's both of you. I think in this army... I think I like you on... I'd actually put you on foot. I haven't decided yet. We'll keep you on the Chaos Steed for now. I don't want you on the Chariots in this particular army. We have enough fast movers to allow you to, you know, travel in your current thing. You need a Chaos War Shrine, and we'll level you all as needed when needed. What we do, however, want to get is make sure that Replenish Troops is maxed out, which it is. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. What else do we have here? Tavi and Co. Okay, so you guys I'm gonna leave you alone for a moment. Let's deal with the other stuff, because this bears some thinking. Oh no, Carmine Hunters, will you be able to reach Skulltaker just barely before you disappear? Trespassing in Itza territory a little bit, please. Tell me this was far enough. I don't know. World events. Faction countered blooded wanderers. Perfect. Alrighty, what are you looking? Ooh, they're actually on the way out. And we can't confederate for another 2 turns. Huh, well, if they die, they die. Fairly well, Carmine Hunters. You have done your job. I wish I could send you to attack something, but it's not worth it right now. Huh, what do we have here? Growth plus 10 for all provinces. Casualty punishment faction-wide. That's some good stuff. That's some real good stuff. Alrighty, but in the meantime, you wait. Vashnar. You have found Wulfric. And admittedly, if we get an alliance with him, or his units... Ugh, minus 11. Forlorn, minus 9. Oh, right, non-aggression pact. Can't even pay him 28k for it. Alright, go for the non-aggression pact for now. Maybe we'll find a minor Norscan faction. We could always betray him and attack him later if needed. Again, I just want the Norscan units. I don't actually care about these alliances, especially since alliances are relatively worthless to Khorne, just by virtue of the fact that we can't trade with anybody anyway. And you actually did need to recruit, just the minor issue of it being expensive, but I think we'll still need some more stuff for our ball, so just keep recruiting what you can. We could get Marauder Horsemen also to preempt knights and stuff. And we'll want to figure out what else we want to put into your army. Oh, other than some Fleshhounds. Can we build Fleshhounds here? No, we could build them via global recruitment, but it's a little bit on the expensive side, and I'm gonna say no for now. Anything here that we want to put in Arbal's army? I don't think so. Alright, well then, just ignore it for now. Alrighty, now. I guess, wait, who's Tommen? Oh, you're going this way. You know what, I'm gonna rename you Scout, because this way I'll remember that I have to delete you, and I'm gonna rename you Scout as well. For the exact same purpose. Alrighty, now I take it we don't have capacity of anything else. Let me just see here. Oh wow, these guys are gonna be a full stack and super high veterancy. Ah, rogue armies are just such an irritating thing. I can't do anything about them either. They'll just randomly appear, but anyway. Alrighty, so the important thing is to figure out who is going to get what here. So Golgast, this Blood Reaper does not need to be in your army. Yeah. Alright, meaning we can have you leave. Funnily enough, this army is more or less exactly as it should be anyway, so you can actually just march stance this way. We just have to get Skyla Anfengrim in your army, so as soon as we take the Temple of Skulls, we'll just peel him off to put him into Golgast's army. Then they can do their thing. Like, that's the way to do it, and then I guess we'll send them north. We'll probably have to attack the Skaven from several fronts and then spread out this way in multiple armies, so that makes sense. What about the rest of you guys? So we got Eddie. March stance this way, please. Yeah, I guess we'll just move them all this way. You. Just stay together. And you two. I don't remember which army you're gonna go in, so just sort of stay near everybody. Actually, wait, I should... Wait, no. This guy, you are the menace, meaning you are going into Graal's army. Like so. Yeah, Graal has 2 menaces. He needs them because he'll have he'll have a bunch of bloodletters. Because he's, yeah, gonna be pretty bloodletter-tastic. Maybe not completely, but enough. You're gonna go here. In Golgast, you're gonna need some exalted heroes. We should have a spare exalted hero here, and you are a menace. Spell resistance for the entire army. Maybe we could do that. These guys might be vulnerable to spell work. Yeah, maybe. Rather than here. Alright, let's put you out here, and we'll put you into Golgast's army. And most likely we will... Wait a second. If we put Skyla and Fingrim, yeah, we're gonna have to delete 2 Khorne-Gors if we want to replace them with exalted Heroes of Khorne on Bloodbeast chariots, which we do. But, you know, 8 units of Beastmen, and then 8 units of fast movers. Khorne's a holy number. I think that's a sign that that is the way that we want to do it. Overbuilt by 2 Khorne-Gors, but we can either delete them or put them somewhere else. I think that all makes sense. Otherwise, I believe we're good. We can skip, and end the turn, see if we get attacked anywhere. Should you risk staying here? I don't think there's military presence here, right? 5. Wait, no, that's 5 from the Temple of Skulls. Yeah. So you shouldn't be concerned. So we're good, end turn. And now every single turn is just going to be a race against the clock, race against bankruptcy. But frankly, a decent amount of the campaigns have been in that same manner, so, you know, I'm kind of used to it at this point. Alrighty, looks like no further attacks from anybody at this point yet. No? Good? Yes. Alrighty, Supervisor for Grawl. Then, Skarby, you are going to hit up the Temple of Skulls, which has early skink defenders. Funnily enough, on the one hand, while Kroq-Gar is a sort of dinos and somewhat Saurus guy, not in the same manner perhaps as a Gorok, but, you know, as I recall, the spawning pools in the south have primarily been, in the Southlands, have primarily stopped spawning Saurus. They are broken. I mean, obviously lizards have lost control of a bunch of spawning pools, and that includes these. Ooh, there's a gold mine down here? Well, we were always going to fight Tzeentch, to be fair. I mean, gotta have that gold mine. But yeah, anyway, my point is that if Saurus are no longer being created by the spawning pools, which the lizardmen don't control, it does make sense that Kroq-Gar primarily has piles and piles of skinks on him. Or previously on him, now he's dead. And probably not going to come back either. Also, Skarbrand's reached rank 50, but I have not yet decided what his final army is going to look like, which is why we're going to retain some of the points. Might eventually just go into Sustained by Slaughter and Renowned and Feared, but we'll see. Yeah. Either way, I think we're just gonna go on in and do this little siege. I don't foresee this being an issue whatsoever. What's the sack value of this place? Out of curiosity. 8.3k, yeah, I guess we will sack it and occupy it then. First strong, ooh, that actually might be a fight for Major Rager. Alright, well, we'll start with Skarby. Or do we want to start with Major Rager in case we don't have time for both? Maybe the latter. Alright, let's send you in then. And is Cloaca too far away from the settlement? No, he's right there. Alright, good. Let's level up and then let's go on in. What do we have? A couple of points. We have to go for Twisted Artifacts for the magic item drop chance. And this is another reason why we want cultists with every lord. Gotta get those magic items. But we gotta get them the Gate of Khorne as well, so no choice. Tough as nails for the character XP gain for lord, and I'm going to say the additional campaign movement range. Obviously not helpful in the fight, but it will be helpful in terms of reaching where we need to go. You are going through Esteemed Combatant, and I think that should still be the case. What about you? You are going through Twisted Artifacts, and oh, you are going through Gate of Khorne. And now Greater Gate of Khorne, and lastly, the Blood Speaker. You have just the 1 point. Funnily enough, all of this army's stuff is covered by Blood-Soaked Champions. Meaning, yeah, literally every unit here. Meaning it doesn't really matter what we pick. In theory, we could put a... Well, no, we'd have cultists for war shrines, and we have... I guess I'll do Harbingers of Death, in case we want to get, like, a monster in here, like a Slaughter Brood or whatever, eventually, maybe. We have to go through this to get the higher ranks buff anyway. Also, what rank do you need to be to get your unique line? 12, okay. Well, let's see if the lizards can take us there. Go.
the rage flow within you, for this is what Khorne desires most of all.
Alrighty, here we go. Can't let Skarbrand have all the fun against the lizards, and the Wrathmongers and Skull Reapers are going to have to assault a minor lizardman settlement. But I would wager that this is going to be a rather difficult fight, more than a full stack full of range units, including the Pterodon Riders, 3 Kroq-Gars to sort of plug the breach, and 2 units of Razordon hunting packs. Now these are the most critical targets by a huge margin. They are devastatingly high damaging units with their armor-piercing damage, and we cannot let them, apply it. That said, with the sheer amount of range that the enemy has, I'm willing to bet that our Cultist and our Bloodspeaker are going to have a pretty bad time. You can see all of those blow darts and javelins smacking into these two. And already they both lost. Oh, wow. Okay, looks like the Razordons begin to fire, and this cultist immediately loses about a quarter of his HP and then drops down to 50%. And there's another volley from those Razordons. This is exactly what I was worried about and why we engaged the first one. I'm gonna have to try to get this cultist out of there. And hopefully he can survive, but it looks like the 2 war shrines are actually somewhat blocking each other. Though, if we can hide behind the other war shrine, maybe this one can get out. There's another volley from the Razordons. We're down to 20% of the HP, and I've actually reached the healing cap after popping off the blood sacrifice off the cultist to try to heal his, or off the Bloodspeaker to try to heal his cultist friend. And down to 10% HP, and booking it on out of there now. While the cultist moves forward and is probably going to now be the one taking hits, but not for very long, as he's going to have to back away as well. Fortunately, our infantry piles are absolutely fine at this point, still just fighting all those enemies down below. Yeah, I think in retrospect what I should have done is kept these 2 basically down here, where the enemy was unlikely to be able to target them. Oh, look at that, and it looks like some of our melee infantry, Brutes of the Hound, are down to about 30% of their HP as well. And good job to those Kroq-Gars for holding the line. I'm getting a few occasional axes thrown the enemy's way, although most of them were being chucked originally at the Pterodon Riders, one of the units of which has been destroyed at this point, and the other one remains at full HP, but hopefully not for long. Alright, looks like another heal on the cultist has brought him from the brink of death to nearly half HP, and I think we should have 1 more heal left, so we might actually be able to send him back into combat. In the meantime, in desperation, we summon the Bloodletters to immediately rush the other Razordon hunting pack and try to destroy it. These guys have already done 18k damage to those poor cultists. And we can't have that happening again. They are such a frickin' strong unit on the defense. And that's why I said this little lizardman settlement is not to be underestimated. On the bright side, though, with Skarbloodwrath leading the charge, our elite infantry units should be able to cut down the skinks and what remains of the Kroq-Gars reasonably quickly, especially now that most of the Kroq-Gars are done for. We do also have enemy reinforcements moving in, but it's just a little bit, though the poor cultist, or the Bloodspeaker, or rather, will have nowhere to run. These guys are coming in from the back, and we have tons of enemies up here as well. But what can you do? Oh, several units of Marauders are now pretty darn severely beat up, but they were forced to go back into the fray. But on the bright side, it looks like the Razordons are no longer able to fire all that much, and hey, we forced them into Rampage as well. Now, and it looks like our Bloodspeaker has unfortunately routed at this point, but the enemy will not give chase to him, and instead will move up the ramp towards our other units. But luckily for us, we've got plenty of them. And it looks like the Razordons are just about done, as the 2 units of, I believe, they're both Exalted Heroes? No, 1 Cultist and 1 Exalted Hero. Oh, 1 Cultist and 2 Exalted Heroes have now moved in to help these summoned Bloodletters in making sure that those Razordons cannot fire again. The Cultist or the Bloodspeaker will escape. Some of our units will, try to run past, and now it's time to try to knock out the enemy reinforcements. was trying to provide a little bit of extra fire support with the Marauder Horsemen of Khorne, but frankly, maybe it's better to just send them into melee. They do fairly okay damage with those armor-piercing throwing axes of theirs. In fact, just out of curiosity, we got... well, it's severely debuffed by the Holy Stella, but when they're not, it's pretty decent. And the cultist does come back, but once again does get fairly badly beat up, but not to worry, we got more units where that came from, while our other units make their way towards the enemy's sort of main line. Or what remains of it, I suppose. Now that the biggest threats are off field, it is nowhere near as concerning. And our horsemen are going to try to chase down some of the enemy skinks, or at least to ride through them. While we chase down what remains, there we go. Gotta force all of these skinks of various kinds to actually engage in combat. Huh, why is there one Bloodwake Berserker here? This guy ran way ahead of the rest. He is more into it than everybody else is. Good job. Khorne likes this guy. It's kind of neat that he's so far from his unit, and these guys have not lost a single unit, I believe. Anyway, this is the last holdout of the enemy in the sort of citadel or central key location, and now just a matter of time. Marauder Horsemen have charged in. We've got solid 77 armor on them, and 5133 fairly decent stats, and keep in mind that those stats will actually rise fairly considerably. In between two cultists and Scar Bloodwrath, I think we should be able to get their armor up to like 110, 120. They'll be almost as armored as Chaos Knights. And they'll have Rage on them as well. I was originally going to actually evolve them to Chaos Knights, but by the looks of it, it's most likely not going to be needed. Now, they should be pretty darn strong, as this army does cater to buffing them, and that's why we put them in here. Alright, it looks like the enemy key building is captured. A few of our units are still moving away, but not as many of the enemy units, as with that at last, the enemy army shatters, and the battle is ours. And a pretty nice one at that. Really enjoyed it. Alright, there we go. That was actually a reasonably tough fight, but like I said, I've learned in campaigns past that the lizardmen defense is not to be underestimated, especially in SFO. Razor-Dawn hunting packs are so dang nasty, and I've seen them melt Chaos Knights like nothing with a couple of volleys, and they were extremely dangerous to our cultists. So this one only survived because Major Rager used all 3 of his blood sacrifices on him, and this is the big issue with the blood shrines. They have the War Shrines of Khorne, rather, and War Shrines in general. The AI will always target them in the same way that they target our bloodthirsters, but even prioritizing these support units, which makes it extremely dangerous against any foe that has a lot of range units. But anyway, at the end of the day, we carry it and do a decent work, minus the damage, of course. As usual, the Bloodwake Berserkers do fantastic, and the Skarbrand's Headhunters and Anointed Harvesters leading the way, with shockingly a decent amount of damage coming out of the Marauder Horsemen of Khorne, partially, admittedly, from chasing things down, but also from chucking their axes while everybody else fought. So, yeah. I said I believe that we were going to sack this place, because we need the cash, because we're at minus 10k now. Hey, Helm of Discord, that's a nice pickup, and a second War Shrine. Just gonna have to be careful with it. You can occupy the Cursed Jungle. Like so. And I guess repair, and I guess build up the replenishment thing. Alrighty. Also, I believe I said Teotiqua is going to be a Dark Bastion, unless I'm mistaken, but we'll see. And you can start with... It's still a yellow territory, so I guess we're gonna go for control. All the territories we keep going to, just always the yellow territories, which ain't so great. Anyway, what else do we have here? Oh, right, these guys all, and then all of this. So in theory... Alright, can you reach Doomglade right now? You cannot. You can if you march, and... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Neither of you can reach Doomglade, but fortunately it looks like Malivore can't reach it either. Doomglade is fairly poorly defended, so we could actually have you easily conquered and then maybe move you to lead Baros then. And we would need to send somebody down to Serpent Coast, assuming that Skarbrand doesn't do it. I guess we could do it with Major Rage, or we could just go past it with the Scarlet Legion. Maybe that's the best way to do it. Alright, you know what? Let's do this. You are going to... Oh, wow, okay. Now, go to the edge of your range, go into raiding stance right outside of Doomglade, and raid. You are going to move northward to help with Libaras, I think, then. Yeah, because these guys are basically done anyway. March stance towards Libaras, and you go here. You should be able to take that, no problem. You guys... you are technically following Skarbrand, so funnily enough... Wait, oh wait, I just realized we have this again. Instantly replenishes movement, which is great, but I think not worth it right now. More better for when we do a, you know, Rampage. Devotion's Tithe is almost gone anyway, so there isn't any real need. I'm gonna say it's finally time to go once again into Dissipation's domain for that Khornate corruption, as well as the automatic colonization. Just a little bit quicker. And then Unholy Manifestation, hey, we have the target settlement will be raised available. Just because it's funny. Oh, we could do this to poor Itza. Let's see, how strong are they? They are strong rank 21, settlements 8. These guys are what?
The Pirate King.
Strength rank 44, settlements also 8, but Itza is significantly stronger, so we could cripple their capabilities. They will resettle Itza and get it back, mind you. But probably not our problem right now. The other option would be, well, I was about to say, would be to do this to Galleon's Graveyard rather than... allowing them to do their thing, but I suppose it'll come back up again, so frankly it doesn't really matter. We can also raise Skaven Blight. It's such a mean ability. It really, really is. Or we could do it to Kairos. Why Kairos? Just because you know he'd do something annoying to us. But anyway, we're a little bit far from Lustria, and I'm gonna do this. Put it on cooldown, eat some... Oh, wait, you can't do it to this. Oh, you have to be at war with the faction, I take it. Target settlement will be raised. It cannot target Itza, but let's see. Yeah, it's only faction that we're at war with. Oh, it's a little bit less... I don't like that. I mean, I guess we could just, like, raise Serpent Coast so that we don't have to send an army there, but it's also not a big enough deal for us to be considering it. I guess there's Lamia. But then we'd have to, again, we'd have to be at war with the rats in order to do that. And in fact, if, oh, for the love of... I don't know where you're going. All I know is I don't like it. You're still recruiting now, though, for one more turn or 2 more turns, but you're just about ready. Obviously, these guys also will have to be transferred. What do we have in terms of the Harbinger of Disaster availabilities? I do have a little bit in the way of allegiance. We could grab a couple of giants, not necessarily for this army, but just because. I did want to get the Incarnate Elemental of Beasts, but I wanted that for a very specific army, which we don't have anything else for as yet, so it's going to be a while until we would actually need it. There is also, of course, the Gorgons, and they are a decent option because, well, first of all, they're work very nicely with Khornate stuff, generally speaking. They have that strength from flesh and all that, and are sort of anti-large specialists. Would work nicely with the Bloodbrute Behemoth as well. Or maybe we'll get a Gorgon. Get a couple of them. I don't even know into which army, but, you know, just so that we have them on field. Plus, they're big ol' entertaining monsters to watch. This way we have access to them without having to wait for the... Slaughter Brutes and Soul Grinders and Bloodthirsters. You guys, yeah, I think we're just going to keep you here for now, so I'm going to put you into channeling. Stay in Granite Massive, right here. You can raid in this non-existent territory because nobody owns Resetra. You can channel. Is the wind... well, the wind's at least blowing here. Alright, so go into Granite Massive. Actually, if we... honestly not healing that well. Wait, in our own territory do you heal more? Not really. About the same amount. Alright, just raid then. I'll wait until you heal. Your army is probably next as soon as we can get these units to you. Or at least some of those units. It's not the entirety, but we'll see. Anyway, I believe that's about it, minus this guy needing this hero. Or is it this hero? Wait, who are you again? Alright, Battlemaster. You. Yeah, Menace I was going to put into Gulgast's army.
They shall suffer.
Like so. More Gore Beasts for Skyla. Gore Beasts and Blood Beasts. And Skyla himself will move that way as soon as we're ready. Anyway, that's roughly ready. I was going to end this episode, but maybe we just complete the, if not quite complete their destruction, at the very least break their last stronghold. Seems like the thing to do. Yeah.
Today we sing a song of Salota. Blood, skull, strength, cause.
Alrighty, here we go. We have effectively sampled pretty much all that the last defenders have had to offer, and have fought them in the field, have fought them in a minor settlement, and now we will fight them in a siege battle. And plus, these are the last defenders of the last defenders, as if we should win here, the enemy faction will be pretty much too crippled to continue. And by the looks of it, I don't think that they have think that they have much of a chance here, but you never know. Being immune once again to Skarbrand's rage-causing ability is a very nice thing to have. Anyway, the Khorne's Bloody Fist is making absolute mincemeat of these poor skink skirmishers up here, having taken about 50% of them, and now a Saurus Skarvet moves in to intercept the Khorne's Bloody Fist. The Skarvet immediately loses about 30% of his HP, and the duel continues. Huh, that actually looked like water when the axe smashed down into the ground, didn't it? That crazy, or did it look like water? Not that it matters over much. What does matter is the Saurus Scar veteran is defeated in the same manner as the skink skirmishers at the cost of about 20% of the HP on Big Boy there. In the meantime, there is a critical unit that Skarbrand has found, an enemy revivification crystal, and though Skarbrand will take a few Chameleon Stalker precursor weapons to the back, he'll keep swinging his axes and bring down the Basti with Reviv Crystal. In the meantime, we are still working our way through the gate, which is nearing half HP. And as usual, our Hellforged host is attacking them, but Skyla Anfengrim and our Blood Reaper are in the enemy settlement now and helping out against these skinks and the Saurus. There is an enemy lord here as well, which is whacking away at Skyla. And a Feral Stag has joined the fray. Unfortunately, that's too many juicy targets, and thusly Skarbrand is going to move his way back towards the main gate and try to go after those two. In the meantime, where is Khorne's Bloody Fist? We have backed it off. It has taken a little bit of damage, and we will send it back into the fray shortly, but, you know, with all the enemy range units attempting to focus it down, we just wanted to make sure that it didn't take more damage than the rest of our units. Frankly, by the looks of it at this point, it is the Skull Reaper that is taking damage, down to about half HP, so we're going to back him off and basically put him behind this little copse of trees, which should keep him relatively safe from the relatively short-range chameleon skinks and stalkers. I believe the enemy lord in here has at this point fallen, and the Khorne's Bloody Fist has arrived, coming back to attack the Feral Stag, while the gate falls to the tireless blades of the Exalted Bloodletters. Now the Exalted Bloodletters will back everybody up. And since our new army is moving on in, this may very well be the last fight. In fact, yes, this would be the last fight where Skyla Anfengrim and Skarbrand are in the same army. Losing him will, of course, make Skarbrand's army a little bit weaker, actually a fair bit weaker, thanks to all of these stats of a now high-level legendary hero, but at the same time, Skarbrand could use a challenge, let's face it. He could probably reduce his army size by half and would still be an absolute menace. Especially with, you know, Skarby himself on the battlefield. Anyway, the bounce back has shifted to about 80% in our favor as more and more exalted bloodletters stream through the now open gate. And it's just a matter of time of engaging and destroying all those enemy range units, at least as soon as the runners and the sort of, you know, little tiny remnants of the units are no longer blocking us here. And here we close with the enemy cavalry, not so much because they are a threat to any of the single entities, but I didn't want them to charge into the piles of bloodletters. And they probably wouldn't have been able to get enough speed going to make proper use of their charge, but with their mass, they definitely could have blocked more bloodletters off and prevented them from making their way into the settlement proper. And that ain't so great. Another nice explosion from Skyla and from Grim with the summoned bloodthirster now added to the fray. We got 3 bloodthirsters on the field. And like I said before, even without the, well, even though it takes a while, definite while to get to tier 5 and get those exalted work, to get those regular bloodthirsters on field, thanks to the cultists, we can always summon a 3rd. And that's already pretty darn solid. Alright, and I do believe the battle is pretty much ours. A couple more hits, a couple more units to rout. Oh, there's some range unit, or some flyers sitting around the enemy key building. Huh, that's curious. Perhaps they should have come down here to play instead, but I suppose then we would have had the Bloodthirster and the Khorne's Bloody Fist to try to chase them down. I would imagine the Pterodon Riders are faster, but surprisingly, we've seen the Khorne's Bloody Fist and the Summoned Bloodthirster both catch enemy gyrocopters before. So perhaps it could have done the same with the Pterodon Riders. Alright, it looks like the Cav are, or the Cold One Spear Riders are out. A few more skinks to mince with Skarby. The bounce power 90, maybe even 95% in our favor now. And just a matter of time. Khorne's Bloody Fist has now closed the distance with the first of the flyers. Obviously, well, Pterodon Riders in melee versus a frickin' regiment of renowned Bloodthirster. I think we can safely say we have the air superiority here. He might take a little bit of damage, but it's not going to be all that concerning, and is dropping at minimum 1, possibly 2 units of the Pterodons with every blow of his anti-large axe. Surprised that they didn't back off, but I suppose, where could they go? Ooh, absolutely fantastic. I do love seeing flying units fight on occasion. Anyway, with that, I do believe enough of the enemy units have taken severe damage, and with that, the enemy army will shatter, and the battle will be ours. Our summoned Bloodthirster will melt away thanks to the summoned thing, but all good. And demonic... Oh, that's demonic instability, eh? I don't know if we could keep a summoned unit alive with the... Not the cultist, but the, whatchamacallhim, the blood speaker, using the cannot die ability first when he gets hit with the summoning debuff, and then recovering his HP with a blood speaker blood sacrifice. Certainly something to think about, or at least try it out. Anyway. Alright, there we go. Another decently solid defense from the lizards, doing a fair bit of damage to us and forcing us to take quite a bit of time to break through. They were focusing down the Blood Shrine with all their range units this time around, but the Blood Shrine still managed to rack up 38k damage. Pretty solid, 49 for Skyla and 82k for Skarbrand. With 6.4k damage Delta's gold value thanks to the high value targets that he was going after. Other than, as usual, the Hellforged Host, it looks like the Blood Donors take the prize this time around. And, well, again, it's a siege, so in sieges we don't get as much use out of the dogs. Anyway, sack the place. We'll heal us up, and then occupy it, so everything around it can be... Oh, wait a moment. First jungle... Did I use skulls on you? I didn't mean to do that. I don't think I did. I don't remember. Well, whatever, too late. Hey, a free drill master. I like it. Every lord must have a drill master in theory. I believe someone here doesn't have one. Gulgas, I don't think you have one. You're one of the new lords. Yeah, you have a Khornate familiar, but you can use the... Actually, you could use a blood collector, but drill master. Yeah, drill master is for everybody. More XP, more leveling equals good. Anyway, Skarby. We could move past Temple of Skulls, but frankly it doesn't really save us all that much time, and the third rampage is complete, so we'll just occupy it. Like so, and once again another dimensional cascade. I really wish it... I wonder if it's defaulting to these every time. I mean, I guess we are a demonic faction. Doesn't really matter over much, but anyway. Anyway, with that, folks, we are most definitely out of time, and I'm gonna call it here. With this episode, we completely broke the last defenders. They are... well, pretty much done and will be killed to the last defender next episode. Alas, we won't have time to wait for another Saurus Smiter on anybody, but that's alright. Next episode, Skarby will move up towards Lamia. We will split off, well, have already done so, with Gulgast's army, and we'll send Skyla and Fingrim there. Plus think about getting another exalted hero of Khorne, perhaps another menace as well, into this particular army, if we can find one. I think there is one up north, and there isn't one available here as yet. But we'll keep an eye on them and try to get those capacities, and, well, try to do our best to stay ahead of that bankruptcy. Anyway, pretty fun episode. We got plenty more to come. It seems like every episode now, so last episode we fought dwarfs a bunch of times, this time we fought lizards a bunch of times. Yeah, every episode we find a new enemy and then completely trample them. Very, very nice. Anyway, don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.